All right, so we're diving deep into poetry today. Your notes here are fascinating. It seems like you're really ready to explore the creative side of poetry writing.
We are. And it looks like we're going way beyond just rhyming here.
Exactly. We're talking about existential angst even. Novel wordplay. This is deep stuff, wouldn't you say?
It is. We're going to explore what gives poetry its power. The elements that make it truly impactful. And we'll look at how anyone can use these tools to appreciate and even create their own powerful poetry.
I'm excited to unpack all of this.
Me too.
Okay, so this guide, it's called Great Ways to Write a Poem. And it starts off with some unusual advice. It encourages writers to really embrace what it calls forbidden thoughts, and to trust that there's someone out there who will understand and relate to those thoughts. I'm intrigued. Why would forbidden thoughts be so powerful, especially in poetry?
Well, let's think about what forbidden thoughts actually are. They're often those ideas and emotions that we usually keep hidden, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
The ones that we're maybe a little uncomfortable with, or that challenge what society tells us we should think or feel.
That makes sense.
But by bringing these forbidden thoughts into the open, using poetry as a way to express them, we're tapping into something very raw, very real. It's a kind of visceral truth. And that truth tends to resonate very strongly with readers.
I see what you're saying.
It's almost like breaking down these walls and saying, hey, I feel this too, You're not alone in experiencing these things.
So it creates a sense of connection.
Exactly.
That makes a lot of sense. And then there's this idea of believing that someone will understand. It almost seems like a leap of faith when you say, like, for the writer to put these very personal, sometimes difficult thoughts out there.
It absolutely is a leap of faith. It's about having trust, I think. Trusting in the idea that human experience is universal in many ways. We often believe our deepest feelings are unique to us, but poetry has a way of showing us otherwise. It can connect us with others who have felt those same things. It reminds us that even in our most challenging or maybe our darkest moments, we are not alone. Others have been there too.
It's almost like finding solidarity through shared experiences, even if they're difficult ones.
Precisely.
This actually connects really well with something I noted from your analysis. You have this framework of thoughts, feelings, reflection, then action. Would you say that this is kind of like a roadmap for the journey a poem should take the reader on?
You hit the nail on the head. That's a great way to think about it, like a roadmap.
So it's more than just the words themselves, isn't it?
It's about so much more. It's not enough for a poem to simply be pretty words strung together,
Right.
A truly great poem, it needs to move the reader, to provoke thought, to stir their emotions, and maybe even inspire them to take some kind of action, however small in their own lives. Think of it like a ripple effect. The poem creates these ripples that spread outward, touching the reader and possibly influencing their thoughts and actions.
I love that analogy. It's like those ripples can have a real impact beyond the page.
Exactly.
Speaking of impact, the guide also mentions impact imagery and aesthetics as 3 essential parts of a poem. On the surface, these seem pretty straightforward, but I'm guessing there's a lot more to them than meets the eye.
There definitely is.
What about impact, for instance?
So impact in poetry isn't just about shock value, right? A poem can be impactful by evoking strong emotions, sure, but it can also be impactful by challenging a reader's perspective or simply prompting them to reflect in a deeper way than they might otherwise.
Could you give me an example of that?
Sure. Think of Sylvia Plath's Daddy, for instance. This poem delves into a complex, even troubled father-daughter relationship using imagery that is stark and, to some, maybe even unsettling.
Yeah, I could see that.
It's this honesty, this rawness that really creates such a lasting impact on the reader. Plath doesn't shy away from the difficult emotions.
So it's about going beyond just those surface-level emotions and really digging deep, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Right, that makes sense. Now, what about imagery? How does vivid imagery contribute to a poem's power?
Imagery is about creating a complete sensory experience for the reader. We're talking about using vivid language, metaphors, similes, anything that helps paint a picture in the reader's mind so they can really experience the poem, not just read it.
And I remember the guide highlighting novel wordplay. How does that tie in with imagery?
That's a key element of effective imagery, novel wordplay. It's about going beyond the cliche, finding those fresh and unexpected ways to describe things, pushing the boundaries of language to create something truly unique and memorable.
It's like the difference between saying the sky was blue and saying something like the sky was a sapphire canvas stretched across the horizon.
Exactly. The second example just creates a much more vivid and engaging image in the reader's mind. And that's what we want to do with poetry, engage the reader on multiple levels.
Okay, I'm with you there. So we've talked about impact and imagery. What about aesthetics?
Well, aesthetics are all about the poem's visual presentation. The line breaks, the white space on the page, even the font choice can play a role. These elements might seem superficial, but they can actually enhance the reader's experience significantly.
I never thought about the font choice being important in a poem.
It can be. Think of it like this. Have you ever been drawn to a book simply because of how beautiful the cover was?
Oh, definitely.
That's the power of aesthetics. A well-chosen font can complement the tone and the style of the poem and enhance the way the reader interacts with the words on the page.
I see, I see. And the spacing.
Think about how a line break can create a pause, a moment of reflection for the reader, or how white space can be used to emphasize certain words or phrases. These visual cues work in harmony with the words themselves to create a more immersive, more impactful experience.
So it's like a dance between the visual and the verbal. We've covered a lot of ground here today. We've talked about embracing those forbidden thoughts, the universality of human experience, the importance of imagery and aesthetics, and that concept of taking the reader on a journey. What does all this mean for someone who really wants to write good poetry or even just appreciate it more deeply?
It means looking beyond just the words on the page. It's about understanding that poetry, at its heart, is about connection. It's about the poet connecting with their own deepest emotions, their own unique thoughts, and then finding the right words to express those things and share them with the reader.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
And ideally, those words will resonate with the reader and stay with them long after they finish the poem.
And on that note, I have a question for you, our listener. Think about a poem that has truly impacted you, one that has stuck with you. Why did it resonate so strongly? How did it achieve that impact?
Was it the raw emotion that moved you, or the vivid imagery that painted a picture in your mind? Was it the unique structure of the poem, or maybe a combination of all these elements?
Keep those questions in mind as you go back and read that poem again. Or maybe as you explore other poetry.
And who knows, maybe you'll even feel inspired to try your hand at writing some poetry yourself.
You might be surprised at what you discover within yourself.
Absolutely.
Until next time.
Happy writing.